Welcome to today's yoga practice. In today's practice, we are going to be focusing on spirals. So you can begin by warming up the wrists. And if you would like to come with me in the Spotify playlist, you can start your playlist now. Coming into mountain pose, bringing your hands down. See if you can close your eyes and feel up, reaching the crown of the head to the sky, and then feel down, stepping into our practice. We're going to take a deep breath in, bringing the arms up, and then we're going to spiral the wrists down. Take a breath in, you can bend the knees. And then spiral wrists. Breath up. Maybe taking them the other way. And one more time, breath in. Spiraling. Let's take our body in a spiral motion, side to side. You can let your arms be soft. Looking behind. And then let's bring it back to center. So we're going to take one foot back, ball of the foot. And then we're going to take that same side, the arm out and up and reach around. So nice and slow. Make sure that you engage your low belly. Make sure that you are reaching through the arm, keeping it nice and long. And then let's notice the direction that we're traveling, and then you can take it back and around first. Breathing with it. One more time. Bringing that foot back in. Let's try the other side. Ball of the foot. And then reach the arm up. Keep the belly nice and strong. Keep the spine long. Notice if there's a big difference in one side compared to the other. This one is much tighter on my body. Can really feel. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it the other way. Taking some deep breaths. Bringing it back to center. We're going to take our pelvis in a spiraling motion, and this is going to help to warm up our low back, kind of open up the front of our hips. So we take it over to the side, front, and then around. So circling the hips. Make sure that you have enough distance between your feet that allows for this. If you like, you can step it out maybe even a little bit wider and bring your body around in a circle. Okay, notice the direction you're traveling, and let's go the other way. Checking in with your head and your neck, maybe looking around. One more time around. Okay, bring it back to center. We're going to spiral our forearms. So we're going to do a little twist. Palm up, and then see if you can twist the other one. Palm up, and then switching sides. You could lean over to one side, keeping your body nice and strong. Could look into that hand that is palm up, reaching, spirals. Okay. Let's find our way down and onto all fours. If you need to, you can pad your knees. So taking a blanket under the knees is always a good idea. We're going to sit back onto our heels and reach our arms out, coming into our child's pose. As you exhale, see if you can sink your hips a little bit deeper. Notice your low back. Let's come up and onto all fours, planting your hands, bring your knees in. We're going to shift our body weight, and the right leg is going to be able to move, circling around. Now this leg can come out and then take it across the other side and see if you can bring your top of your foot down and then turn to look. Very gentle. If it's not pleasant to your neck, you could just look towards the front corner. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring that leg back in and shift to the other leg. Remembering to press through all of your fingers. We don't want to dump all of the weight into the heel of the hand. Feeling into that hip joint. When you're ready, we're going to take this leg out and then around. You could look back at that foot or just look over to the side. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back to center. We're going to sit back onto our heels. If this doesn't feel good to you, you could always come up into a kneeling position. So you decide where you want to be. We're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to bring the fingers together, the thumbs together and the pinky fingers together. And we're going to take the arms up and then thumb to middle finger or thumb to index finger back. So it's a breath in. Spiraling of the arms and the breath. Make sure that you have your tail tucked and your core engaged. Bring your arms up one more time and then back down. And we're going to take the hands to the low back. And I want you to draw your elbows back. So opening up the chest, you could lean your head back just a little bit. Keep a little tuck in the chin and open up the front of the body. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. We're going to crawl our way out and onto the belly, bringing our elbows underneath for Sphinx pose. So bring your hands out in front of you and let your upper body open up and see if you can elongate your neck even more. Now notice how this feels to your low back. Notice how this feels to the top of your feet, to your pelvis, to your shoulders, to your neck. Okay, we're going to come down. What I'd like you to do is take one arm out. So this arm, we're actually going to see if we can just roll over just a little bit. So the other arm is right underneath. So we're rolling over. Maybe you can stack your knees. Little rotation, opening up the shoulder joint. Feeling the rotation. If this does not feel good, you can just stay in Sphinx pose or come into maybe thread the needle. So this is a pose that in physical therapy you might have done if you've taken physical therapy, where you stand against the wall and you place your arm out on the wall and then you turn your body. We can do it on the floor too. Bring it back to center. We're going to try the other side. So extend that arm, place the other hand underneath, and then just roll open. Knees are stacked if possible. Just trying to relax into that opening of the shoulder joint. And take it back to center. Let's take our hands underneath. We're going to press back and into our child's pose. In fact, this is our pose for the day. This is Balasana, child's pose. Balasana, our pose of the day. Take a deep breath in. Let's come back up. Planting your hands, we're going to come into downward facing dog. So curl your toes under, lift your knees, press back. Remembering that you can always keep your knees bent, feet are hip width apart. And then if it feels good to you, straightening the legs, pressing back. Feel strong in your shoulders, strong arms. Straight spine, tailbone to the sky. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring our knees back down. We're going to walk our hands out and we're going to do kneeling plank today. So remember that when you do plank, you want to engage the core and try to keep your body as straight as possible. So a straight line from the tail to the top of the head. So this is our plank position when we are kneeling. When you come into full plank, you just lift your knees up and you're in full plank. So you want to make sure that your tail's not up, your tail's not too far down, you're in a straight line. Now, for those of you who have wrist issues, you can always do plank using your forearm. So let's try that. So let's bring our forearms down. You could interlace your fingers, bring your hands together, interlace your fingers. And I like to tuck my pinky bones under so that I'm not pressing down on my pinky fingers. And then I'm going to come into kneeling plank so I can walk myself out. Remember, I have a straight line from my tail to the crown of my head. So this is kneeling plank. This might be better for you if you have injuries in your wrists. And then just like with regular plank, we could lift the knees up and then press through the whole arm. This is challenging. So breathe. You could always bring your knees back down and then bring them back up. Bring them down. Bring them back up. Moving in and out of forearm plank. Okay, we're going to come down. We're going to come back We're going to set up for side plank kneeling. So we're going to shift one leg over so that I pick up my knee and I shift it over. And this is my kickstand. And then I plant the same hand, same side, and then I roll open. This is my plank position. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down and bring my arm underneath my armpit and then back up. So we exhale down and inhale up. So again, that spiraling motion of the body. Good for your spine, good for your joints. One more time. Bring it back down. Bring it back up. And then come back to center. Let's sit back on our heels and just spiral our wrists. One direction, the other way. We're going to do that on the other side. Coming back onto all fours. We're going to take the left foot out, left hand right underneath the shoulder. Open up the chest, and then bring your arm under. Get inhale up. Exhale back. Two more times. Last one. Bring ourselves back to center, sitting back onto your heels if you like. Rolling the wrists. Could also move your fingers, creepy crawlies, getting your thumb involved in the motion. Okay. We're going to do side plank with on our elbows. So we're going to come over onto our side body, and then I want you to stack your knees. We're going to come down onto our elbow, and again, for this one, you might want to pad your elbow instead of padding your knees. So you could put a blanket underneath there, but not too padded, because we have to press down. And then what I want to see you do is to bring your knees in alignment with the rest of your spine. So just walk your knees so that you're in alignment here. We're going to reach the arm up, and then we're going to think about coming up. So we're thinking about lifting our side body up. So just try one, lift it up, and then feel the side body activate. Take a deep breath in. You could bring it back down. Let's do that a couple more times. Breath up. Bring it back down. One more time. Breath up. Lift. And exhale. Okay, let's try the other side. Elbow down. Arm up. Bring your knees in alignment with the rest of your spine. And then we're going to lift up. Hold. Bringing it back down. Lifting up. Your own pace. One more time. And then bring it back to center. We're going to find our way onto our back body. And then this is my favorite massage that I do with my movement practice for the low back. And so I bring my knees into my chest. I bring my fingertips to the tops of my knees. I'm going to think about taking my knees to the side, taking the knees away, and then bringing them back in. So it's a circular motion. And my fingertips aren't really moving my legs. My core muscles are moving my whole lower body. But I like to have my fingertips on the tops of my knees because then it helps to just move the arms and the shoulders in a nice pattern as well. Now notice the direction that you're traveling and take it the other way. One more time around. And then bring your feet down. Going to set up for bridge. So walking your feet in close to your bottom. We're going to bring our hands down by side of our body and then lift the pelvis up. See if you can press, keeping the thighs parallel with one another. Press up towards the sky. And then can you relax everything that is unnecessary to sustain this pose? So just relaxing your shoulders, your face, your jaw, your eyeballs. Thinking about the circular pattern of our breath. So inhaling, exhaling. I could think of it as a circle. Bringing your top of your spine down first, slowly come down. Take your feet out wide, maybe feeling the edges of your mat, and then take the knees from one side to the other. You could turn your head same direction that the knees are following or traveling. Okay, let's bring it back in. So from here, we're going to do pigeon pose reclined. So I'm going to take my right foot up into the sky. I'm going to flex my foot. And then I'm going to bring the ankle to the shin. And then you could just wing it out like you're sitting in a chair with your shin parallel. You could hold it here, or you could bring it gently in towards your chest. And then just give it a little bit of a rock side to side. This is super, super good pose to do. We're so tight in our hips. Okay, let's bring that foot back down. We're going to switch to the other side. Left leg up. Flex the foot. Feel strong through the leg. Turn it, rotate it out. Shin parallel to your hips. And then drawing it in towards the chest. Gentle, if it feels good, you could hold it, or you could gently rock side to side. Okay, let's release that leg. We're going to grab both sides of our thighs and roll up and into boat pose. So see if we can find our way onto our pelvis, holding it here. It could be balance, arms right next to your legs. Flex your feet. Option to make it bigger. Arms out, feet out. You can decide where you want to be. You could move between those two. So drawing it in like a ball and then extending it long. Strong in the core. And then let's cross the legs, come over. We're going to find our way onto all fours. We're going to curl our toes. We're going to come into our downward facing dog, tailbone to the sky. Bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into your forward fold. You could let your arms dangle. You could move your body side to side. And then let's slowly roll up, tucking the tail, stacking pelvis, head. Okay, let's come to the front of our mat. We're going to step back and into warrior. You could take your left foot back if you like. Setting up your stance, warrior pose. Arms coming out. And then we're going to bring our hands together. Now, I want you to really feel strong through this pose so that you don't feel like you're going to fall over, but bringing your hands here and then just begin to move the upper body. We've warmed it up. We've stretched it a little bit. Now we're going to work a little bit on mobility with strength in the base. Now, it doesn't have to be in one direction, and it can be small. So it could be like right here. Could be bigger. And then bringing the hands out. We're going to take palm up, front hand, and we're going to reach up and back. From here, we're going to come back through center and then find our forearm to our thigh, a little gently rest it, and then reach your arm up. So this is the pattern. So it's an inhale up and exhale back down. Could make this movement smaller. Could make it bigger. One more time. Bringing it back to center. We're going to find our way back toward the front of the mat by turning and stepping forward. Taking a deep breath in. Bring it back down. Shifting your body weight so that the other leg can step back. Arms out. Palms together. Keeping the base steady. Move the upper body. And the palms together give us a little bit of restriction. Breathing. Could always keep it small. Okay, bringing your arms back out, palm up, reach up and back, holding it here. Take a deep breath in, bring it back, forearm down, arm reaches up. So using our core strength to move. You could keep it small. Could make this motion even bigger. Bringing your arm forward. Mobility and stability. Balance. One more time. Bring it back to center. Pick up that back foot, pivot it, and step it forward and take a deep breath in. Bringing your hands to rest together. You could bring your arms down by the rib cage and just feel. Feel all the spirals that we have been doing in this practice. Okay, if you need to get a chair to help with balancing, you can do that, or you can go to the wall. You could bring your hands to your hips and start to move the knee again. Balancing. You could hold on to something if you needed to. Okay, and then bring it back to center. We're going to stack our hips. We're going to bring our foot either to rest right next to the other one. This could be your tree pose. This could be your tree pose. You could bring it above your knee. Finding your drishti, your gaze point. You could bring your arms up. Bring it slowly back in. We're going to shift to the other side. Just notice what feels good to your body here. Is there any part of your body that still feels tight? Maybe you could work to move the energy in that part of the body. Okay, and then when you're ready, bring it back to center. We're going to rotate the thigh out. We're going to stack the pelvis over the knee so that I have nice straight line. And then you could bring your foot to rest right next to your shin. Right here, this could be your pose. And then above your knee, maybe. Find a drishti point, a gaze point. Maybe opening the arms, relaxing the shoulders down, straightening the spine. And then slowly finding your way back out of the pose. Okay, let's take our feet wide on the mat again, and then let's bring our forearms together and spiral them around. So just give ourselves a little bit of a energetic spiral of the forearms, washing motion. maybe where the wrists touch. You could spiral around that. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our toes out. We're going to look up and come down a little spinal movement, taking it down and up. Last one. Okay. It is now time for final relaxation. So finding a way to be in ease, relaxed. You could either sit in your chair or you could sit seated upright on your mat, cross-legged pose. You could come down onto your back body. You could bring your knees together. This is a little bit easier for your low back. You could take your legs out. And if you're riding along with me in the music, you might notice that this sounds like we're on a car trip. We're on a journey, seeing the scenery pass us by. It begins to rain, and you start to listen to the thrumming of the windshield wipers on the windshield, contained within this little sphere, or this little space of the car, traveling through space and time on the beginning of an adventure. Maybe it's a short adventure, maybe it's a long one. Maybe it's a leaving of home. Noticing the newness. Everything new. Giving yourself a mini vacation as if you are never seen this place before. Little awe and wonderment in our lives. Sunlight through the trees. Maybe there's people waving to you as you drive by. Mm. Almost reaching your destination. finally there. And slowly rolling over onto one side, taking a few moments here, fetal position. And then pressing to rise, coming into cross-legged position. Sitting up nice and straight. Bring your hands together and give yourself a little bow, thanking yourself for coming to your practice today. Namaste.